All right, so let's unpack this Cristiano Ronaldo interview, shall
Yeah,
we?
yeah.
It's certainly causing a stir online,
Oh, yeah, definitely.
and you sent over a ton of material,
Oh, yeah.
the full interview transcript,
Mm-hmm.
articles about his time at Manchester United, even some pieces on the Cricket World Cup and the war in Ukraine.
Yeah, it's
Talk about range.
it really does feel like a microcosm of everything that's going on in the world right now.
Right.
Yeah, sporting drama, global conflicts,
Yeah,
viral trends, the whole thing.
exactly. But for this deep dive, we're laser focused on Ronaldo's words.
Okay.
What's he revealing about himself, his
Mm-hmm.
career,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe even the state of football itself?
Yeah, that's the really intriguing part about this interview, I think. It's
Yeah.
not just him kind of doing a tell-all,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
There's layers of frustration,
Yeah.
reflection,
Uh-huh.
even a glimpse into his future plans.
Okay, so rewind to last summer.
Mm-hmm.
Ronaldo's back at Manchester United.
Okay.
The prodigal son returns. Record shirt sales, the whole bit.
Yeah.
Did it feel as good as the hype made it seem?
On the surface, absolutely. I mean, it was a marketing dream,
Right.
a fairy tale in the making.
Yeah.
But Ronaldo's interview hints that behind the scenes, the reality was far more complex.
Yeah, he even talks about being surprised by things like the outdated facilities.
Right.
Almost like stepping back in time.
Yeah,
I mean, he's coming from Real Madrid and Juventus.
exactly.
Did he really expect Manchester United to be that far behind?
I think this is where we see that clash of expectations and
Yeah.
perhaps even like footballing cultures.
Well,
At clubs like Real Madrid, the emphasis on modernization, on being at the cutting edge, is palpable.
yeah.
Perhaps Ronaldo, having experienced that, was caught off guard by what he perceived as a lack of similar investment at Manchester United.
So it wasn't just about a jacuzzi or a swimming pool.
Right,
It was symbolic of a bigger disconnect.
precisely. And this sets the stage for the friction that seems to have followed, particularly with the arrival of Ralph Rangnick as the interim manager
Yeah.
in this unconventional sport directive role.
Right.
Now, most fans know what a director of football does,
Mm-hmm.
but Rangnick's position was a bit of a hybrid.
Yeah.
And it seems Ronaldo wasn't entirely convinced by the appointment.
Yeah, he's pretty blunt about that.
Yeah.
Even saying this guy is not even a coach.
Yeah.
But was that just a superstar bristling at a new authority figure?
Mhm.
Or was there more to it?
That's where it gets fascinating.
Yeah.
You have Rangnick, known for his tactical emphasis on high pressing,
Right.
a very German, very system-driven approach.
Yeah.
Then you have Ronaldo at that point in his career,
Mm.
a master of efficiency, not necessarily known for relentless running.
Right.
It's almost a philosophical clash as much as a tactical one.
So was Ronaldo just being resistant to change?
Yeah.
Or did their approaches genuinely clash? I mean,
Yeah.
couldn't a manager like Rangnick potentially
Mm-hmm.
help evolve Ronaldo's game at that stage?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? It's possible Rangnick saw an opportunity to modernize Manchester United's style,
Yeah.
and Ronaldo perhaps represented a challenge to that vision.
Right.
It's rarely as simple as one person being right or wrong.
Right.
It's about fit, about personalities, and about the ever-evolving demands of the modern game.
For sure.
Yeah. And amidst all of this tactical back and forth,
Yeah.
Ronaldo experiences a tragedy that really transcends football.
Right.
The loss of his infant son.
It's heartbreaking. You can hear that raw grief in his voice
Yeah.
as he describes it as probably the worst moment he's endured since his father's passing.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a stark reminder that even global icons grapple with intensely human pain.
It is, and what strikes me is his openness about it. He
Yeah.
talks about explaining the loss to his other children,
Yeah.
finding strength in his family. It's deeply personal, and I think it resonates with anyone who's faced similar heartbreak.
Yeah, it makes you wonder how this impacted him on the pitch, too.
Right.
Did that grief, that emotional weight, play a role in the events that unfolded?
It's impossible to say for sure, but it's certainly a factor to consider.
Right.
Athletes are often expected to compartmentalize,
Yeah.
to perform regardless of what's happening in their personal lives.
Right.
But grief isn't a switch you can just turn on and off.
No. And then into this already complex situation
Yeah.
walks Erik ten Hag, the new manager.
Right.
Right from the start, there seems to be tension.
Yeah.
Ronaldo misses preseason. The club questions his reasons.
Yeah, there's a sense of a power struggle brewing.
Uh-huh.
Ten Hag tasked with rebuilding the team, asserting his authority.
Right.
Ronaldo, used to a certain level of deference, perhaps struggling to adapt to a new hierarchy.
And it all explodes, of course, with the Tottenham game incident.
Right.
Ronaldo refusing to come on as a substitute, the subsequent suspension.
Yeah.
Was this the inevitable breaking point?
I think it was the culmination of several simmering tensions.
Okay.
Tactical differences,
Yeah.
clashes of personality, perhaps even a generational shift in football.
Right.
You have Ten Hag trying to establish a new culture, and Ronaldo, a legend in his own right, perhaps not fitting neatly into that vision.
But then Ronaldo drops a bombshell.
Oh, yeah.
He claims Manchester United wanted him gone,
Right.
that they betrayed him.
This is where the interview gets really intriguing.
Yeah.
It's no longer just about on-field disagreements.
Yeah.
It's about feeling unwanted, ostracized even.
Yeah.
And it raises questions about the motivations behind the club's actions.
Right.
Was it purely tactical?
Yeah.
Or was there a financial element, a desire to move on from his hefty contract?
Ronaldo seems to believe it's deeper than that.
Right.
He points to the Glazer ownership,
Mm-hmm.
echoing the frustrations of many fans,
Yeah.
saying they prioritize marketing over on-field success.
It's a critique we hear often about the modern game.
Yeah.
The business side overshadowing the sporting side.
Right.
Clubs as brands, players as assets.
Yeah.
And Ronaldo, with his global superstar status,
Right.
is perhaps uniquely positioned to comment on that dynamic.
But it's not just doom and gloom.
No.
He talks about the World Cup with genuine excitement,
Yeah.
praises the Portuguese team, their fantastic coach.
Yeah.
Is this a chance for him to remind everyone what he's capable of?
Absolutely. The World Cup is a stage where legends are made.
Right.
And Ronaldo has a history of delivering in big moments.
Uh-huh.
Portugal has a strong squad,
Yeah.
a blend of experience and youthful talent.
Yeah.
And you can bet Ronaldo will be looking to make a statement.
And beyond that, he talks about playing for a few more years, retiring at 40.
Yeah.
But it's not just about goals anymore.
Right.
He mentions mentoring young players,
Mhm.
writing a book,
Mhm.
sharing his wisdom.
Yeah.
It's almost like he's preparing for life after football,
Mm-hmm.
but on his own terms.
There's a self-awareness there that's interesting.
Yeah.
He's achieved everything imaginable on the pitch.
Right.
But he's clearly thinking about legacy, about what comes next.
Yeah.
He even mentions a strategic conversation with Jordan Peterson,
Really?
the psychologist and author. It's as if he's seeking new perspectives, new challenges, even outside the world of football.
Okay, but let's be honest. His time at Manchester United didn't end on a high note.
Right.
Will this interview tarnish his reputation?
Mm-hmm.
Or will people see it as a veteran speaking truth to power?
It's a complex question.
Yeah.
Some might view it as sour grapes, a disgruntled player lashing out.
Right.
But others might see it as a brave act,
Uh-huh.
a superstar challenging the status quo,
Yeah.
even if it means risking his own image.
He even confirmed turning down an astronomical offer from Saudi Arabia,
Right.
350 million euros.
It's unbelievable.
It's not just about the money for him.
Right.
He wants to compete. He wants to prove he can still play at the highest level.
That's a crucial point.
Yeah.
He could have easily taken the mega money deal, ridden off into the sunset.
Right.
But there's a fire in him, a drive to silence the doubters.
Yeah.
He even joked about becoming a psychologist after talking to Tom Brady,
Oh, yeah.
who famously unretired from the NFL.
Yeah, I love that. There's a bit of humor there,
Yeah.
but also a glimpse into his mindset.
Yeah.
He's surrounded by people who push boundaries,
Mm-hmm.
who defy expectations.
Exactly.
He even had that fascinating anecdote about his son asking why he wasn't playing after the suspension.
Right.
It humanizes him,
Yeah.
reminds us that he's not just a footballing machine,
Mm.
but a father navigating the complexities of family and career.
And that's what makes this interview so compelling.
Right.
It's not just a football story.
Yeah.
It's a human story.
Yeah.
A story of ambition, of resilience, of grappling with legacy and mortality.
Uh-huh.
And it's a story that, despite all the drama, feels far from over.
Yeah, it really does leave you thinking,
Mm-hmm.
is this just Ronaldo's story, or does it speak to something bigger
Yeah.
happening in football right now, this tension between the sport we love
Right.
and the business it's become?
It's a question worth pondering, for sure.
Yeah.
Ronaldo's criticisms of the Glazers, the feeling that profit sometimes overshadows passion.
Right.
It's a sentiment echoed by fans across many clubs,
Mhm.
not just Manchester United.
And he's not afraid to say it, even if it ruffles some feathers.
Yeah.
Do you think this outspokenness, this willingness to challenge the establishment
Mm.
will ultimately define his legacy more than the goals and trophies.
It's certainly adding a new dimension to how he's perceived.
Yeah.
I mean, for so long, he was the ultimate professional,
Right.
almost machine-like in his pursuit of excellence.
Yeah.
Now we're seeing vulnerability, frustration,
Yeah.
a willingness to engage in these bigger conversations about the direction of the sport.
It makes you wonder, had he stayed silent, quietly collected those Saudi millions,
Right.
would we be having this conversation? Would we be seeing this side of him?
Perhaps not, and that's what makes this interview, for all of its controversy,
Yeah.
so valuable.
Yeah.
It's a glimpse behind the curtain, a reminder that even the most iconic figures are human, with complex motivations and evolving perspectives.
It's also a reminder that there's always more to this story.
Right.
We often see players through a very specific lens.
Yeah.
Their on-field performance, their social media persona.
Exactly.
But this interview peels back those layers, forces us to consider the person behind the brand.
And I think that's what will resonate with listeners.
Yeah.
It's not just a football deep dive.
Right.
It's a deep dive into human nature, ambition, resilience, the struggle to reconcile past achievements
Yeah.
with future aspirations.
So as we wrap up, what's the takeaway you hope listeners walk away with?
Well, I hope they're left with a sense of curiosity.
Right.
Curiosity about Ronaldo's next chapter, of course.
Yeah.
But also curiosity about the forces shaping the sport we love.
Right.
Are the business and the passion for the game truly in conflict?
Mm-hmm.
Can legends like Ronaldo find fulfillment beyond the pitch?
Yeah.
These are questions worth exploring, debating, and ultimately answering for ourselves.
Beautifully put. And on that note, we want to hear from you.
Yeah.
What resonated with you most from Ronaldo's interview?
Yeah.
What are your predictions for his future?
Right.
Head over to our socials and share your thoughts. Until next time, keep diving deeper
Yes.
and keep questioning everything.